What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Steve Asintoski here of Maize n Brew, bringing you another film analysis, looking at the defensive positives against Wisconsin. I got 11 plays for you on this episode. Real quick, wanted to shout out members of the channel. Ray Shortridge, new member, thank you for joining. Logan Evans, Wes Weber, Drink Duff 77, Christopher L, Venom 22, Emily Stout, GDRCO, Ian Macdonald, Lewis Blake, Sean, Noah Schroeder, Dylan Girk, Alex Fuller, Andrew Decker, Sam Lee, Terry Pender, and Keno Bear. Thank you all for becoming members. As always, throw a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot if you haven't already. I've talked enough. Let's dive into the analysis. I appreciate all your guys' support on these videos. It really does mean a lot. All right, catch you on the next one. See you later.
Attempted a pass. He will this time. Sets up a screen, batted down, and incomplete.
Really close to a huge play for Wisconsin here. Really interesting look on this screen. You're going to have Ferguson blocking here on Ojabo, and then he's going to slip here. You also have Mellusi here. He's going to be slipping out for a secondary option on the screen. This orbit motion here is going to bring Dax Hill away from the formation. Offensive line is just going to let the defensive front for Michigan through here, hoping they get some depth here to create some room on the second level, and then you'll have enough release blocks for these three gentlemen on the second level for Wisconsin to pick them up. So let's just go forward and backwards here, just kind of show you the play design right at the time of the throw. Honestly, the running back's a little bit more open, but this is supposed to go to Ferguson the entire way. You can see now the block setting up. As I mentioned, Dax Hill following the orbit motion here, so he's out of the play, but you have one block, two blocks, and a third guy out to the free safety here. So you really have all the matchups that Wisconsin wants here. If they're able to complete this to Ferguson, if these guys are getting more upfield, then this is a huge play, right? There's nobody out here. So really, really crucial job there from Mazi Smith, able to get a mitt up and deflect that pass. So both he and Morris have the awareness here to recognize, hey, something's not right. Can't really blame Hutchinson and Ojabo for going in there. But really good job, especially right here. You can see Mazi Smith, he kind of plants his feet, right? He starts shuffling his feet. That's really good technique. He's able to react to where this pass is going, right? So you can see he's getting penetration, realizes, uh-oh, something's not right. Chop feet, boom. Now he can step, make a play on the ball, and again, look at just how well this is blocked. Maybe Josh Ross can make a play, beat 94 here and get over to make a play if Ferguson does catch this, but again, you have another blocker going out to the safety. Just huge play here to save at least a first down, if not more, from Mazi Smith.
In 2021, 2nd and 7, high snap again, and Berger met in the
Josh Ross times this up extremely well to meet Berger in the backfield. So what's the play design here for Wisconsin? They're going to be down blocking here on the just going this direction, and you're pulling this guard around. So Ferguson is going out to get the backside linebacker. In this case, he hopes Ross is flowing this way. Got a crack block here from number 7. And that's kind of all you're looking at here on the backside. You can see the priority for 54 and 60 on the backside. These guys just want to make sure that nothing gets through. So Mike Morris, they're going to block here. Here's your down block on the nose tackle, down block here as well. The issue here is your nose tackle for Michigan here, Mazi Smith, gets really good first step and pushes into number 70. So on this pull, because this guy is blocking down here, they're ensuring nothing's getting through here. They're leaving Hutchinson unblocked, but because he's coming so quickly here through this gap left from the puller, and the nose tackle does such a good job holding up number 70 there, that left guard trying to get across the gap there. There's not enough time really for 70 because he's met right there for anyone to deal with Josh Ross. They're not expecting him to be flying through backside here. So that gap is just enough for Josh Ross to come flying through here. So the rest of the play is well blocked. You got 65 doing a good block here. Ferguson again is looking for Josh Ross, who should be flowing here, but he's actually going to crack block the same guy here, and then the puller is going to pick up Ojabo. So Ross makes the initial play there. Boom, right, makes the initial contact. Good penetration, I mentioned, from Mazi Smith. He's winning this block, and now he has a free shot into the backfield. So that's just a straight-up win over the left guard. They left Hutchinson unblocked because you can see this is the hole that the running back's supposed to go through. So he should be well past this at this point. So Hutchinson shouldn't be a factor because he's left unblocked by play design. He's able to get in as an assisted tackle here. So just incredible job from Josh Ross all around.
Down in 9. Mertz, dancing, Mertz, and
really well disguised coverage here for Michigan. So they're only really going to bring 4. You're going to have this cool little stunt from Ojabo. Chris Hinton will go to the outside here, and then just Mike Morris, Aiden Hutchinson off the top of your screen here. This play is made, though, because of the dropbacks into coverage from Junior Colson and Josh Ross, okay? Because they're up here at the line of scrimmage, Mertz is probably looking at both of these routes here for Wisconsin. Both these are kind of quick slant routes, and you can see, let's just watch the eyes for Mertz after this snap. He sees both linebackers, doesn't think they're going to be occupying that space, right? There's conceivably a gap for those slants. Right now, you can see he's reading that. He's reading for this quick slant here from the number 2 wide receiver, but Junior Colson is there. Okay, he's going to quickly shift eyes over to the middle of the field here. Probably sees Josh Ross right over him right here. Josh Ross could be probably closer to the middle of the field here. He's a little bit too close to the zone from Junior Colson, so that could be improved a little bit. But overall, it's a good play to back up there and get in the eyesight for Mertz. So at that time, now he's bugging out. Now he's trying to find a third option. Nothing's there, and he gets sacked. So looking at what happens on the defensive line, I mentioned a cool little stunt. Ojabo is actually going to throw on a little spin cycle, go to the inside. Chris Hinton's going to go to the outside here, and then the main guy just to watch here is Hutchinson on the top of your screen. Okay, so he's just going to completely demolish the right tackle with an inside swim move, and then he just gets bear hugged. And in the rules of American football, that is called a hold, and it does get called. So despite that, Chris Hinton does apply some pressure as well on his stunt, so that does get Mertz flushed, and eventually the turf monster gets him. You can see Hutchinson just irate, looking for the call. He does get it, but here you can see on this other angle, he's just getting hugged from 2 guys. And yeah, that's just what you got to do against Hutchinson if you want to have a chance. But here you can see the paw for Hinton getting the sack there. So he gets on the stat sheet for that one.
3rd and 12. Mertz in trouble and sack.
Ojabo just with a straight up play here. So let's look at the routes for Wisconsin here real quick. You're going to have the outside man, number 7. He's going to, wrong color, run a dig route. You're going to have kind of an out route here for Ferguson. And then a seam route and a fade route on the other side. The eyes for Mertz initially will go over here, and he won't find what he likes, right? So let's just look at the eyes of Mertz, looking over here, seeing, okay, they're in man coverage with the safety over the top here, so nothing here. So he's probably checking to see this, and then he's checking the safety, doesn't like what he sees for either of these routes, so now he's going to move over to the left side of the field. Again, looks relatively covered. Nothing really for Mertz to do in that scenario at the time of the sack. So looking at the actual sack here, you're showing a lot of pressure here for Michigan again. You do have Junior Colson matched up on Ferguson. Josh Ross is probably responsible for the running back, so he's going to drop into his zone here because he is in pass protection. One-on-one coverage again with Junior Colson. So then you're sending 1, 2, 3, 4 on pressure. One-on-one battle here from Ojabo and the left tackle, similarly with Hutchinson on the right side. A little stunt going on the inside with Chris Hinton and Mike Morris. So that stunt is actually picked up pretty well. Luckily, they have the running back in here, so he's able to help with this stunt on Chris Hinton. So nothing really going on the inside here. Right tackle is doing admirably against Aiden Hutchinson, but this is danger if you're Wisconsin, right? The ability for Ojabo to really turn that corner at 7 to 8 yards depth is really started to translate, right? He's able to put that athleticism to use, and kind of a breakout game for him here. So Ferguson needs to do a better job right here of getting a chip on him. Help out your left tackle, get a little chip on there, because this is a lot of ground for this guy to cover, right? So he doesn't get that chip, and Ojabo makes him pay for it. Again, that speed, that bend, able to get a clean hit here, and a big sack.
Mertz 3 for 3 for 31 yards on this drive. And hand it off. I'll tell you.
Just a really good sign for Michigan's defensive line right here. Okay, let's start outside in. I'm going to start with both Hutchinson and Ojabo. Okay, so Ferguson gets a little bit of lead up here because he's off the line of scrimmage. He's going to get ahead of steam and try to block Ojabo. Ojabo does a really good job focusing on him first of really getting into the backfield here and initiating that contact with Ferguson, right? That's a really good job from Ojabo. Look at that's already 1.5 yards into the backfield. He displaces Ferguson into the path of the running back right there and just helps muddy the waters, right? There's no gap there. He helps form the end of that line of defense there, and he keeps his outside shoulder free in case of any bounce. So would like to see him keep his head up there instead of putting that down, but really good job from him. Okay, on the other side, Hutchinson just completely whoops his guy with a little outside in move. Again, that little swim move. He completely beats that left tackle right there, and he's immediately in the backfield again. So if there's any sort of bounce, right, you have Ojabo shoving the tight end into the running back on one end. On the other side, Hutchinson is collapsing that side, just completely leaving that tackle in the dust. Then on the interior, guys, Chez is doing extremely well on here, holding up to both the center and the right guard here. They're going to try to double Chez. That does really well. Again, no movement, right? They're barely moving at all. Good job from both Jeter and Mike Morris. They're not giving up any ground as well. They're standing those linemen up, and again, not really giving any ground after the first couple of seconds of this play. So that's huge, right? That allows Josh Ross to kind of throw his head in the ring. Hawkins is here as well if he needs to be. So keeps the linebackers free, but it's more of just not giving up any ground on 3rd and short. Everyone wins their job. The ends collapse. There's no bounce, and it's just a mess of humanity. So by holding their ground, especially Chez on the inside there, and the ends are there, there's nowhere for the running back to go in this one. And just a really good job all around from the defensive front.
If they can get enough. Mertz. Screen.
This was set up to be a really big play from Wisconsin. Notice how Michigan is seemingly bringing 4 here. You're actually bringing 5. Josh Ross is going to fake like he's dropping into his zone and then come on a design blitz. And you have man coverage for the rest of the wide receivers here. So really you're manned up in coverage, right? You have deep safety here, manned up in coverage here, and then you're bringing the rest, right? So this second level, really for this screen, you have to bank on one of these linemen sniffing that out early, and it doesn't happen. So hard for them to really, think of doing that, but because you're bringing Josh Ross, the running back's completely unaccounted for in this scenario, okay? So because it's off to the side as well, you can't really expect a defensive lineman to make a play like that earlier tight end screen, which is right in the middle of the defensive line. So this is set up extremely well, right? You have block on Junior Colson. He is tracking to the play, but you got a block account for here. You do have a block here, and this is obviously what we'll talk about, but you have a man here, another couple guys flowing to this play. So in terms of picking up the 10 yards necessary on this 3rd down, you're looking pretty good and feeling pretty confident if you're Wisconsin, if I do the freeze frame right here, right? Main thing I wanted to point out, though, even though they do pick up 8 yards on this play, DJ Turner wins his block here, okay? One-on-one block on the outside. DJ Turner sniffs it out relatively quickly and is able to beat his guy inside and make a big-time tackle here. So in terms of play mitigation, right, that was looking like a really, really positive, big potential first down for Wisconsin, an offense that was really struggling. And DJ Turner is able to beat that block, make contact at about 5 yards, and brings him down 2.5 yards shy of the marker to gain. So really good play from DJ Turner. Haven't talked about him a whole lot in this analysis overall this season, but that was a huge play. Forces Wisconsin to take the points because their offense has been really in the red zone all game. They got to take available points. So really great job from the corner.
Here's Mertz in the pocket. He gets
Mertz does get crushed, gets taken out of the game with this play. So let's first look at what Michigan is doing here, okay? They're bringing Dax Hill. Aiden Hutchinson is going to go upfield. He's going to definitively go outside to create the space for Dax Hill on his blitz. You're bringing Josh Ross as well. And then you're bringing, I don't know who this is, Mozzie Smith probably. That might be Jeter. And then Mike Morris, okay? So you're dropping back into coverage Ojabo on Ferguson here. And then you're also dropping back Junior Colson into zone here. So that's kind of what you're looking at in terms of the blitz. And despite all this pressure, right, you're bringing only 3 or 4 from defensive line plus Dax Hill on a blitz from kind of the second level there, right? So that's what you're looking at. Both Josh Ross and Dax Hill get there relatively free. Josh Ross just made the running back look silly, right? They did have the numbers. Obviously, Wisconsin does have the numbers to block this appropriately because they're threatening to blitz with Junior Colson here. That's why you'll still see the left side of the offensive line here, the left guard. He is accounting for that linebacker. He is not even aware of Dax Hill flying in here, right? So you do have the number here for picking up Josh Ross. If they had this appropriately stubbed out for Wisconsin, this left guard would be picking up Josh Ross, and this running back would be available to pick up Dax Hill. Didn't happen that way, right? So he gets crushed, and that's the occurrence. In terms of the routes for Wisconsin, we don't really see what these two guys on the outside go. These guys are running sit routes, okay? So the main thing, watching the eyes of Mertz here. So watch the eyes of Mertz. There's your routes. Mertz is looking for his guy Ferguson, okay? He's not expecting Ojabo, because how often has Ojabo gone back in coverage? He's not expecting him to cover him there. With the pressure, with the linebackers not being in that area, Ojabo covering Ferguson in this scenario really throws off Mertz. That's what gets him to hold up, and that's what allows Dax Hill to come flying in. If he's not there, Josh Ross would be destroying this as well.
Outside, first down at the 35. Michigan looks like they may be stacking that.
This is just the perfect play you can do in this scenario if you're Aiden Hutchinson. We don't have the end zone view of this one, so bear with me. But pin and pull here for Wisconsin. So their design, get this guy to kick out the defensive end here, have your tight end, the lead blocker through this hole to pick up any of the first linebackers coming through here, and your running back will follow through on this hole, and that's kind of the play design. So watch Hutchinson, because this is just where the play starts and ends, okay? So Hutchinson gets depth and then immediately goes down the line of scrimmage, okay? So he recognizes the path that this lineman is on, right? He's pulling towards him. By him sticking to the line of scrimmage here, he forces this guy to deviate from his path, and Hutchinson isn't really concerned about making the play here. He just wants to muck everything up here at the point of attack, okay? So what he's going to do, he is screaming down the line of scrimmage. This cuts off the exact path of not only the running back, but this puller as well. Because he's occupying this space, where is this puller supposed to go, right? He's supposed to be going off of the butt of this blocker. Because of how quick Hutchinson is here, not only does this running back really only have the bounce as an option, which Dax Hill is flying up to deny, but there's just no options here because of that play from Hutchinson. So Hutchinson loads up, runs into this guard here, pops him back into the other lineman, completely holds up that tight end who's coming to block behind him, and the running back has nowhere to go. Okay, the other aspect of this play is the free flow that Nikhai Hill-Green has towards the end of this play to make that final tackle, but the rest of the defensive line holds up. Okay, so you have Jeter, I believe that's just Spate. Everyone is doing well. Julius Welshoff is there as well. No one's giving up ground, okay? At the point of attack here, right? They're all holding their ground. They're not vacating their gaps. They're all there to make the play here. So there's nothing like really specific to call out, just that Wisconsin is not getting any movement. Add in a really great play from Hutchinson, and there's just nowhere for that running back to go except to the turf.
Reps. Third down and 10. Wolf guns it to the sideline.
Dax Hill just making a play on this one. All right, so for the routes, you're going to have a short little in route here. This is the throw that will be made, is a out route here. Tight end is just going to be running a seam route, And then on the front side, a dig route here just past the sticks. Okay, so that's your 4 routes there. You can see there's the routes if you're interested. Man coverage for Michigan. Looking at the pressure, it's a little bit awkward. So Michigan is sending everyone here on the line of scrimmage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wisconsin's keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So numbers are there for Wisconsin. Main thing to watch here is Josh Ross does fall. So he's trying to run a stunt here. You can see Mike Morris trying to loop around here for Josh Ross to be occupying here. And then you will have Junior Colson trying to cut off of something here. Ends are trying to just get around the tackles here. Pressure does not get there, okay? So it's a combination of a little bit of an awkward stunt, kind of aided by Josh Ross falling there. Ends are getting a little bit too much depth there, so Wolf is able to step into this throw without a whole lot of pressure in his face, right? So the rest of this play, again, it's probably the right read given man coverage. There's no help beyond Dax Hill on this route, right? It's a tough route for him to cover. And this is just textbook in terms of how you actually want to cover this, right? So good catch, really actually well-positioned ball, and really hard to envision anyone except for Dax Hill able to get their hand in there, right? So this is just the closing speed, the athleticism for Dax Hill to be able to chop his arm in there and just get in there enough to affect the receiver, right? So really well timed, just able to rake his arm through the arms of the receiver and force the incompletion. So really huge play from Dax Hill there.
And Wolf steps up in the pocket, lost it, and Michigan has a foot.
Pretty immediate pressure here for Michigan. So this is another instance where it's looking like Wolf is initially looking at 82 here, expecting to have an opportunity for him. Mike Morris is actually dropping and getting him for initial coverage. So he's going to get off of that look really quickly. So let's move forward here just to see. He's checking, sees that it's covered, and then he's off of him, right? If he was going to continue to looking at this route, right, it's just kind of a seam route, he would notice that he is now open, right? There's a gap here. If he's going to throw this ball, there is a gap between him, and I believe that's Moten back deep, that this would be delivered. But because he just saw Mike Morris getting out there, he shifted his focus away from that first read, okay? So in terms of the other routes, you just have kind of a little sit route here. I don't know what we call that, a little hitch route for outside receiver, kind of a fade down the sideline here. I mentioned kind of the seam route, and then a dig route here across the middle. So after this first kind of view for Wolf, he's going to come off and just look this way. By this time, he's slipping, probably noticing this pressure, and let's back up to talk about this pressure. No one else really gets there, right? You do have Junior Colson and Hinton on the inside, so that's 1, 2, but you have one-on-one for Hutchinson here. Right tackle does a decent enough job here. And Ojabo, guy to talk about again here. He's, again, going to get just enough depth here, enough bend there to get under the left tackle, able to get his footing there. As Wolf slips, you can see the arms here for Ojabo, able to just pluck that ball there. So Hutchinson is actually there and probably would be able to track down this play if Ojabo didn't, but really good job getting his hand into the hands of Wolf there, and really good job from Hinton. You know, he wasn't getting that much penetration on this play, but he kept his eyes up, right? He's keeping his eyes up, maintaining gap integrity in case Wolf does scramble his way. And because that ball is on the turf, he has the ability to pounce on it after. So, again, Ojabo, breakout game for him, and good job from Hinton here, keeping his eyes up, able to hop on that ball for a turnover.
Points, 43 yards and a turnover. Here's Wolf to throw it. And intercepted!
Dax Hill, again, heck of a game from him. Looking at the actual routes here, before I switch to this other view, you're going to have a combination here of a quick out and then a deeper kind of flag route, okay? So you will have DJ Turner. He will be on this, he'll be off screen from the other angle, so that's not why I'm saying it now. He will be on this quick out. Dax Hill will bait this throw, and that's really interesting to watch. On the top of your screen, Tight end's going to be, let me switch to this other view for the other routes here. Yep, so 82 here is going to be just running a sit route here in the middle of the zone, and then you have a crossing route from 85 kind of underneath the linebackers, okay? So you got zone here for your linebackers, 4 on the rush, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rush doesn't really get there, okay? So just a view of the linebackers, there's the rush. Nothing there. Good job from Hinton getting his, or that's Jeter getting his arm up almost in the path of this throw. Couple options. I think this is a relatively good route tree for a couple of completions here. Probably could deliver this if it was on time. This was open as well. Main thing to watch here, though, is Dax Hill. Okay, Dax Hill is making it look like, you can see the feet of this wide receiver here, right? He's making it look like, or maybe that could be Turner breaking on the quick out as well. But based on where Wolf is looking right now, right? He's looking for this kind of flag route behind Dax Hill, and there is a lot of space out there. What Dax Hill is selling right now is that he is biting on that out route, okay? At the time, you can see right now that Wolf is throwing that ball. Dax Hill is able to flip his hips extremely quickly, get some depth here, and able to go up and get that ball. So this is just perfect timing. Really good understanding from Dax Hill of where the eyes of where Wolf is looking to go and how to bait him into that throw. So it's just really good timing, really smart play from your safety to be able to transition from that hard sell to the flats, flip hips, get some depth, get into the path of that ball, and then go up and make the snag. So that's what a 5-star safety will do for you, and a heck of a play for Dax Hill.